So it's 246 on the 4th. My hair is a little. I've been wearing it up so much to try and, because my hair is long, so I don't know, but it gets in stuff all the time. Like you bend over and then your hair is, and then you don't realize it, and then you got like the other day it was honey, but it's always something. It's always got stuff stuck in my hair, so I try and keep it more braided all the time, but it's like, oh man, I'm getting sick of having a braid. I don't know how people do those tight braids. I can't even believe it. Did I tell you it was 246? I thought that was interesting. Is I keep seeing the numbers aligning all the time when I look at the things. It keeps being numbers aligning, which I do think things are going into alignment. But I do have some irritations, and I do want to talk about the moon. There's a few things, even though I'm starting, like I have no idea what I'm talking about. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. My nose still feels really dry, but it still is kind of dripping a little. It's not as bad, but yeah, I don't know if it just went through and blasted with that stuff. I hope that it took out mold spores and shit for all the mold that I was breathing, and that because when you have a lot of mucus somewhere, it's because there's some kind of an infection. And so people get sinusitis and stuff like that. So they get sinus infections. And, but it's because your body's trying to, it's trying to block something off. So the mucus is there, is like a protective agent. And so the when you have a lot of mucus somewhere, there's something going on. It's not by like your body doesn't know what to do. So and I have had the allergies for years, and I'm not sure, and it just was going straight. I remember it started a long time ago, so it was probably starting when they first started spraying. They probably is when I started. And then I got tested, because that was when I was still a nurse and going to the doctor and whatnot. So that's how long ago it was. And they said, oh, you're not allergic to anything. And I said, well, then what the hell am I having these symptoms? What is going on? And I think it was around November or something. So they decided, well, you are allergic to molds because it's seasonal. Well, it may have been seasonal for a while, or I don't know. Because it was just sporadic. I think that's the thing with all of us. We just kind of just go about our business, and we don't pay that much attention. And that's why this awakening is about paying attention, looking deeper, thinking deeper, opening the drawers. Yeah, it's like when you're sweeping, it's like the moving the furniture sweep, not the sweep around everything. It's that you're moving this shit out of the way and seeing what's behind it. Hold on a second. This is my third cup of tea, though. I just see my hair get stuck in my arm. I couldn't sleep, and it was so. Last night was the just dead ass, like in a coma, and then tonight is the same thing. It's just like there's just all this talking, and it's like. See, the energy is intense. She's already had medicine. She's already eaten. She's been out 3 times. What? So I told you I was about to do this. So you're just going to have to deal with whatever and lay there. What are you doing now? Go lay back in the tent if you want. You can lay in this bed. I swear to God, a lot of hers is emotional, I swear. She is, I don't know. I mean, I've been her whole life. It's cute, though, because now things are getting more comfortable with them, and still is, like, wanting to play, and they aren't as scared, like, they don't stop as quick, but she did get them to stop. She just barked her head off until they all gave in and gave her the toy, but she was running and playing with them. It was really cute. See, sometimes she wants to just play and stuff like that. Her body is just had issues for so long, but I don't know. I just got a lot of things on my mind about the whole thing with the, hold on. See, I'm so jumbled. Hold on. That's how it feels, though. It feels like everything is just blah, 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 jumble, jumble, jumble. And then it's like I can't sleep. And it's just like, oh my God, I can't relax and just carry a thought. It's just all this fucking noise. And so, I'm uncomfortable. It's like my body keeps zapping and zapping. And it's like, oh my God, this sucks. Hold on again. I don't even know where I want to start because now I'm on that. Where did I put that? My nose is totally running. Right after I'm sitting there thinking, oh, maybe it's all dried out. Oh, yeah, because I was talking about that. So, then I know, though, the last few years, but I was really aware of because I started talking about the fog. I swear to God, it was like I started talking about the sun just right out the gate. And like the 10 people that were listening to me thought, well, that's a little weird. Like people would definitely were not seeing that. There may have been one or two. I don't know. A lot of them aren't around. Debbie's around still from the beginning, but, and I don't know. To me, she didn't take me as being crazy. But anyways, there was people who were like, God, that's a little out there. But I was right. And then it wasn't that long after I was talking about that I started talking about, because I was already talking about Nibiru. I was already doing that on Facebook before that got taken down. That was fucking 2015 or 20, it was definitely before 2016. I think 2016 is when it got taken down. No, it was 2015. Because I'm pretty sure I was still married. Like I can look deeper into it and see. But yeah, it just doesn't matter. Hair falling out. Look at that shit, man. Let's see. So, whatever. I was already talking about that part of the sky. Like I was already talking about the spraying and stuff like that, and people were like, thought it was so wacky. Like, you see how people think it's so wacky now. Just imagine 5 or 6 years ago talking about it, how wacky people thought you were. Now people are still uncomfortable, and there's this many people awake. There was hardly anybody. Like, you couldn't find people. It was very isolating. And, the spraying. But then once I had started doing this, it has been the best outlet. I swear to God, this is the best outlet to just be able to speak your truth, even, because all the time you just get resistance all the motherfucking time. And so, this is just being able to just speak it and say how I feel and what I see and what I think. And what I see is always so different what other people see. And it's really the amount of patterns and shit that I can see now, like, it isn't enough to drive you crazy. You just see people's roles. You just see, I don't know how to explain it. It just happens, you just start seeing things so differently. Oh, I heard a good thing, though, that ChatGPT said the other day that I found interesting. I'll see if I can interject that, but I've got so many things open right now. Hold on. So, but I started talking about the fog, and I don't know, because I started this January 2021, and I'm sure by January 2022 I was already talking about the fog. So I think within the first year I already was talking about the fake sun. I was already talking about the fog, and it was making people sick and stuff. In the frequency, I was talking about the bullshit about the those big cell towers that they put everywhere that are supposed to be so fantastic, but you go drive around and you can be right next to one and you just get 0 bars. That's crazy. Like, what's going on here? So and there was things I noticed just because of what I was driving and going in distances and stuff, and when people are in town and on Wi-Fi and just zipping around getting to work and shit like that, there's a lot of stuff that people don't notice. They have no idea. They just don't notice. Being where the brain injuries seemed like such a crisis in the beginning, it gave me freedom. It was freedom that I was still trying to keep myself chained up. I was still in the chains. I was still angry. I was still like, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute. There's nothing holding me back. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Well, within the government limitations of controlling our lives, which is some bullshit. Is I'm fucking on a rant about that. That is something I'm just like, some fucking bullshit, man. Hold on. Okay. Another thing, this is pretty easy for somebody who's got a split personality for their whole life, because I've been talking to a whole bunch of people that nobody else sees. So I'm just talking to people nobody else sees. I'm just talking to myself. I'm talking crazy talk. I'm living a dream. So anyways, I could have been the fog though, or that it was like right after that is when they did that big spray. That's when I was like, what the fuck? Because but like they came in and sprayed, and it was like in the summertime, so of course it was outside, and it was like overnight. It was like Roundup. It was like everything started turning orange, all these trees. And I started telling people, like, look at this, what the fuck? And everybody had trees dying. I had trees dying. See, there's a lot of things with that house. There was an issue. Big motherfucking tree, like big, big, big. Like one of the oldest ones in my yard was dead. And it was right next to my house. It was a fucking disaster waiting to happen. So, you know, I still feel like I was moved to safety. There's a lot of things, you know, that I just look at it from the other direction. And it seems like the three-dimensional direction is very downer. It's very negative. It's very downer, I think. I don't know. So, anyways, it's such an assortment of things. But when they sprayed that one, that was a big spray, and I thought that was it. I thought that they were setting us up for a fire. I thought they were, because I think that they go in and then they spray and they kill things and dry things out, and then they come in with the accelerant or something. Like they put accelerants, you know, way that these fires are just traveling so fast. It's not by natural. So anyways, but then they kind of came back, but they all seemed to get really moldy. Well, then I started learning about a lot of them are like hemlocks or something, and they don't have a good root system, and that's why they fall so easy. And so then I was like, oh, so if they go in and they cause all this root rot with the mold and shit, and then they just kept us wet. I swear to God. I mean, I complained about it. It was like years and years. It just didn't fucking stop raining. It was like you had a break of without raining. It was only a couple days, and everything was sopping wet. And then as soon as the rainy season would start, my yard would just flood and flood and flood. My deck had turned to mush. It was the last shit was falling apart. And then so, and then to me, it was this setup for the scene, man. It was like fucking earthquake, especially an earthquake. And I don't think it would take like, you know, how some of them are like 7s and 8s. I think a 5 or 6 could knock some of those trees down. I think that it's all set up. But so with all that poison that was being setting something up. And don't forget, they go for the long game. They like what they're doing right now. They planned it a long fucking time ago. So then, but I had also noticed about the fog. I was like, okay, this is not natural. This is not normal time, and it's not acting normal. It was like this is the weirdest shit. And then, and I complained about it, but it kept being like, it would come and be over us, and we were like in a pocket. But then you start realizing how they work, and it's not just Aaron Brockovich movie, that one isolated incident. No, there's tons and tons and tons, and there's tons of information that has come out that they take over. They go in and they test on little town. They do this shit. It's like, that it's just accepted by the government. We're not protected. They're not protecting us like they're pretending to. And so instead, they're making money off of letting us be attacked and sick and stuff. They participate. Well, I mean, there's a group of them. It was kind of like a created terrorist group inside the government. And that is what I think they're trying to expose right now. That this group is just out to get us. They don't give a fuck, man. So, and they try and market themselves as being like that they're the Air Force, but it's like, at what point do you realize they're not? And that's the big conversation that is also going on right now with people, is the kind of the you got to realize, you got to look at it and think for yourself. You can't just buy a label and think it's great. You got to look at the ingredients, look at more to it. And people are so surface. It's so much in our society and everything. People are so surface, so artificial. They accept chemicals and they don't accept natural stuff. They don't trust natural stuff, but they trust chemicals. It's just like, and people think it's more important to look good than to be healthy, like to feel good and stuff. It's more important to just put on a bunch of makeup and fake hair and I don't know, bind your waist with that. I don't know, that became popular. It's like, what in the hell is wrong with these people? You're not supposed to crush your breathing apparatus? Like, what the fuck? I'm just gonna crush my breathing apparatus for the looks. It makes me look better. I was like, well, I would choose breathing personally, but I don't know. Everybody can really get into their insecurities, and I'm no one to judge. And it's almost the anniversary. I was looking something up on my calendar, and I was like, oh my gosh. All of April, I was preparing for the surgery. The surgery was in May, so I was like, oh my God, that is so weird. It's already been a year since I got my explant. Like, wow, that is crazy. So, time is just really tripping me out. So, anyways, whatever with the fog, I know that at some point is when I just can't remember now with all the different poisonings that I've been having is where I got so stopped up. But I know it got so much worse over there. And I still think with the mold in the house, the molds outside, the fungi everywhere, I'm sure that I definitely probably had spores and shit in there, and the mucus was trying to contain them. And so, anyways, that blast that went through my nose, hopefully it cleaned it all out, and maybe that was a part of getting everything out of my gut. And I was thinking that, because I've been fine since, and I was thinking the bentonite clay probably too, but it was crazy. I could not believe. It's like, man, is it just multiplying in there? What's happening? Like, but anyways, I feel so much better. I don't feel like I'm gonna die. And then I was really talking myself through it too. I was thinking, Jesus Christ, we've all got these forever chemicals all over inside. We're a fucking lab experiment walking around on 2 fake feet. So we are. I still have to keep clearing my throat though. It still is like, I don't know what it is. It feels like it just keeps stressing or something right there. So, but this still feels a lot more dry. So, but we're still sprayed all the time. But also, besides the spraying, and I think maybe they're trying to cover up, because I'm telling you, over where I'm at, you see there's different sky, there's different atmospheres. There's something really weird going on in the sky, really weird, and I know other people see it in different places, but over here by me, like, it's fucking weird. And anyways, that allergies and that stuff, if it helped, I don't know, I hope. And I have a glass or a ceramic water dish and also a metal one, and I'm not putting any of that stuff in the metal one. fucking probably eat through it. I don't know. Probably have some weird chemical reaction. But I'm going to put some more in the ceramic one, which is ceramic is still not as good as glass. It still is leaking out some bullshit. I don't know. There's a whole thing about that now. Um, so I think I'm going to do another drop in the one, but I'm probably never going to do another drop personally. I really feel like I got drenched with it. I feel like if it, whatever it was going to do, I got my dose all at one time, and it's doing whatever it's going to do. And don't even forget, I mean, even when like just in this conversation, well, if you were going to die, you would have already died. It's like, okay, well, some of this action takes longer, and you should know that because the nicotine patch keeps on working. I just said the thing. It keeps on working and working for weeks and weeks and weeks after the fact. So that is, and right now my fucking thing, I'm just so, it's just bullshit. Like they just take away views, or take away, just the whole blocking, just the whole fucking cock blocking bullshit just really chaps my ass. So, anyways, that was another fucking bullshit. But see, I've got a lot of things. I feel like I'm talking about a lot of things at once, which reminds me of this that I want to talk about. So I did finish watching that movie. So I finished watching the Jim Morrison one, and I was tripping out. I was like seeing it like so different than the first time I saw it. And I mean, he like ages 10 or 15 years in like 3 or 4 years. His whole big old slam bam, thank you, ma'am, was only a few years. It wasn't a big period of time. And it was just like boom. And he created a movement. It was like he had so I don't know. I mean, it wasn't just him too, see, because they did it with like Jimi Hendrix and stuff like that. And it was said in this movie too, his dad was an admiral in the Navy. So he was high up there. There's a lot of these, and I don't know if they were forced into it, you know, turning their kids over, if their kids were tested, if they were, thought that this was going to help their kid. And so they wanted, I don't know. There's some weird shit though. And it's like Jimi Hendrix's dad too is some kind of thing, but that is something. Corey Good, his dad was in the military. My dad was, but he was kicked out. Nobody knows why. I wonder if there's a way to find out. But it was always a secret. Nobody could ever know. I was like, what the fuck happened? Like, so anyways, then there's some kind of thing about that they took these certain guys and then they tested these drugs or something. Like they're a part of a thing, and they like put them in place. So that's how they blew up really, really fast. So they blew up really, really fast. And he was so like his whole like way he was looking at the world, but he was also so drug induced all the time, and an alcoholic on top of it. He just was constantly wasted. But he had this certain kind of attitude, and then when you see the crowd and stuff, and this energy going on. And then you think of it, this being created by not even him, but a force behind him. He's a fucking puppet. And then at some point, you know, it's just expendable, I guess, or they burn out or something. He died, he was only 27, and I can't remember now. I just saw it yesterday, but I can't remember if it was like a heart attack or something. But he was like riding hard for a long time. He just was tripped out and questioning everything and stuff. And there was a lot of that back then. But also, I was seeing is like, geez, this was early 70s. So I kept on thinking this big introduction to drugs was in the 80s, but then I was like, fuck, no. It was like in the 70s. And I don't know for sure when Timothy Leary was like, but he's a part of that all this studying and stuff, and they were doing it on people without people knowing it. And so they did a whole movement with the music, but then it's like they got all these people all spun out. It's like huge amounts of people. Like this one nucleus could spread, and they have controlled the spread. They've created the nucleus that is going to spread, and we are the wave, and we take it, and it was like it was out of control, and but so they started that bullshit with the hallucinogenics and stuff. They started taking, because then, he comes out all tripped out talking about all this weird shit. And then the people all, come in, because his music is total acid music too. It's just, and then screaming out sometimes and stuff. And then he says these trippy little things. And I mean, they had some, that were more like songs, but I think a lot of their stuff was like at the concerts and stuff. I think he would, because there was somebody complaining in the, no, it was a person on a recorder, like somebody reporting about him or whatever. And they were saying it's the same show every night now. He just comes out and does this and pukes on the stage. Like he's becoming a real has-been. It's only been a couple years too. And I was like, oh my God. And he gained a bunch of weight. He grew this beard. It was so weird. And then and his attitude and the way he acted, and there was a certain attitude that he had would trip me out about it. So after that, and I finished that movie, and which I liked it, and I really liked this new open window that I had seen watching it again. And so then I went to the bottom. I was like gonna go look for some other Val Kilmer movies, because then when you go to related movies, and it shows you, and then it has more movies with Val Kilmer in it. And so I went down there, and how did I get? Yeah, that is so weird. So, okay. So it must have been, oh, yeah, okay. So I went over to there, and then I found this other movie that was really weird. His part wasn't as big. Nicolas Cage was in it, and he was so, uh, he was just an alcoholic, drug addict, crazy cop. It was a bad lieutenant or something. And it was intense. And anyways, so I watched that. And there was drama over, because Tommy's tumor split out, so we had to take him in, and so Tommy's not here anymore. And I was sad, it's sad saying goodbye to anybody, and letting somebody go. And I don't know, the whole thing is sad. I mean, and it's been her cat for 18 years. Like, all her cats are old as fuck, man. I mean, she's got some that are young, but most of her cats are old as fuck. And then she's always had their sibling, like she was rescuing, so it would be, these cats would be dumped, and so she would take the litter. And some of them were tiny, and she had to feed them by hand and stuff, and so they're very, they're her mom and stuff, and so she had that relationship with that one. So anyways, that was sad, but it was also good to let him go, because and the smell of that cancer. Now I keep sniffing at Stella to see, like, that thing, because this thing, cancer is fuck, man. Yeah, the way that thing grew. And then she was telling me the whole history of it. It grows fucking fast, man. And that thing, and the smell, oh God, that was bad. So now I keep trying to make sure, because I don't know, she's got this one out here, but it could be growing inside. I don't know. So I'm not going to keep doing the horse space, though, because that is, you can overdo it. And so, and I can't read her, like I could tell in my own body, but it's harder because she can't really tell me. So right now, though, she seems like she's doing really good. I feel like this thing is getting smaller, and I'm just going to keep putting the horse face on the outside. So I'm not going to have her take it internally because there's people who keep doing it long term, and they're having issues. And that one lady who was like online telling people how to do it and stuff, and then she died. I don't know which one it is, like, because I don't like go all in deep and stay in these little groups like that. But anyways, somebody was talking about, you gotta watch out. You can't just take this stuff, like, and you get on this healing thing, and you can start just going, like, oh, I'll try this, I'll try that, and so, and then you have it blowing up in your face. So, anyways, just, I don't know. I would just say take it slow, but take it, go seriously to it, but don't. You gotta listen to your own body. But then, yeah, when you're doing somebody else's, then I gotta, pay attention that other people are having issues and stuff. And so somebody had already said about you got to do it kind of in cycles anyways. So it already had a bunch of breaks on hers, but now we're just going to take a long break and see. And just watch this thing, see if it grows more or see what happens. And but I'm going to keep giving her the ginger, um, the ginger honey and the oregano oil in her food, because they're both like antiviral, antibacterial, antimicrobial, all that kind of stuff. And they do a lot of healing stuff. And then I'm going to, what was the other thing? Turkey tail. Keep taking the turkey tail. And then, oh, what was the other thing? I was thinking, I've got so many things. It's like a fucking freeway in there. Like I'm sure I'm bouncing all over the place, and I can't even fucking tell. And I swear to God, the fucking amount of noise, like it is like a, the energy is intense right now. It's fucking intense. Which, that's one thing I too wanted to say about this fucking moon. Like it is some fucking bullshit. Like I was doing all this weird shit before. Then it disappeared for days and days and days. And now, when I open the thing at 1:30 or 2, it is way over there, huge. Last time I saw it, it was an upside down smile, little tiny thing. And now it's this big crescent going on the side that's fucking bright as shit. It's so fucking bright. And I think I just whistled almost. That's weird because I can't whistle very good. This little girl that was here the other day, played with the dogs, boy, she could whistle. Boy, that girl could whistle. She had a good whistle. So that used to be a thing too when I was a kid. Everybody would practice their whistle, like, and their snipping and whistling. It was simple days. It was just easy going. Just practice your whistling. You didn't have to think about what gender you wanted to be or any of that shit. So, but this girl, she was practicing her whistle. So, I don't know, I mean, maybe she's just a natural good whistler. But I remember there was natural good whistlers, and the rest of us would practice and try and be good whistlers. And you get made fun of if you couldn't do a good whistle. If all you could do was do, which I had a problem with that for a long time too. That's about all I could do. Okay, so the moon is down over there. It looks like it's coming in for a landing. It's too big, it's too bright, it's in the wrong place. And then when I opened it again, I don't know, an hour ago, so within an hour, I guess it landed. It's gone. But so, hey, I mean, sometimes it just goes up like right there, and it just disappears. It just stays there, and then the lights come on, and then it just fades away. Now it's gone in for a landing over there. Or maybe it's going to swing around, come back around, and try and hurry and get over here in the next couple hours. Maybe it's just going to jump over. Maybe they're going to turn that moon off and they're going to turn another one on. I don't know. But it's some bullshit. It doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, the moon's back, but it's doing weird shit. And also I was thinking just the energy flip of like where it feels like you're comatose one day and the next day it's like you're fucking jacked up on mollies or something. It's like, yeah, it's like so crazy. That's how I feel right now. It's like hard to capture my thoughts or to keep it straight. It's just like, Jesus Christ. Um, oh, but I was like, this just pissed me the fuck off. And the thing is everybody's just so compliant, and it's like how, and even because I sound crazy to my mom. Then I took somebody else up saying the same shit as me, and I said, "This is how I feel. See, this is what." And but still, it's like, and this guy is like, nothing is going to change until we make change. Like they can say, "Well, we're going to make these laws or that laws." Who the fuck says you can? When are we going to start ignoring them? It's like we don't give a fuck. Do what you want to do, but don't involve us. And that's what it takes, is us all standing together. It's like, no, throw it away. Nope, get your life. Nope, sorry, we're not doing it. Nope, get that. Nope, sorry, we're not doing it. And yeah, we're going to be restricted. We're not going to be able to travel. We're not going to be able to use their fucking bullshit, because that's how they fucking lasso us in. Is, oh, well, we'll take you here. We'll do this. We'll do that. And then we go, oh, okay, cool, cool. And then it's like, it's all to have control over us. It's like, well, you got to do this then. You got to do that then. And so we have to say, we don't want your shit. We're good. We're good. We don't need your shit. And then the thing is then we would develop our own. We'd figure out our own. We'd have fucking people who would, make their own airplanes and start their own airplanes or travel. Or maybe we'd all just already created hover cars by now if we would have stepped away from their bullshit. But people don't. No, I want this life that they're offering. It is such a sliver of what life can be. And but this pissed me off. We had a long drive to get to the vets, and my mom was talking about all the bullshit that's going on and the craziness and stuff like that. And and then she said she had to be on the phone for so long trying to deal with something with the insurance. And she was talking about hers for a minute, and then she all of a sudden switched to mine. Okay, so don't forget, I put on this little fucking tracker that is on my motherfucking phone 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day, they're tracking nonstop. It's like I'm being fucking big brothered. And where did my tissue thing go? So that just fucking is some bullshit. What you do to save a fucking dollar. And so it's like, well, let's see what it's going to save. So the first month didn't do anything. And so this was going to be the month where I was going to get my big savings. I was was thinking, oh, good, maybe it'll go down to like $100 then. Because that motherfucking car just sits there in a goddamn driveway. Like, I go and drive it to, go see but I'm not driving all the time. So it just sits and sits and sits and sits unless I go somewhere, which is not very often. And even around with my mom, whenever we go anywhere to go shopping or anything, we always go in her car. So the only time I go in my car is if I go up to storage or if I go to visit my kids. And that has been one time so far, even though I'm going to go again soon. But it still is, that's not driving very much. So that it just sits in, the 15-year-old car, it sits in a goddamn driveway with an old lady driver that has had one motherfucking highway ticket that goes off in July or something. Like, the whole thing is so motherfucking absurd. I can't even fucking believe it. And I'm like out there speeding around and shit, and it's a goddamn Volvo station wagon. Like, it's fucking bullshit. And so and they've got this tracker thing on me, fucking car. So they decided to raise my insurance $44. No, they raised it $50. No, they raised it more. So they went over like $10 from what. So it was like they raised it $50, and then they gave me a $40 discount for my no driving. I was like, all right, so it's $165. $165 a month to have a car because the bank says so. I was ranting. I was like, as soon as this motherfucking car's paid off, I'm the insurance is done, 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 done. I don't give a fuck. I will not have insurance, and my mom starts telling me all the reasons why I need it and stuff, and all I can hear is the compliancy of what is the container, what holds us, the chains that hold us, and well, that's what you got to do. Well, that's just how it is. That's just the way it is. Well, I'm sure glad I had it when I had hit a deer. Well, guess what? A deer hit my car too, and I lost every fucking thing. I had taken my other car, traded that in, plus took about a big old chunk of money, traded in, bought a brand new car. In a year, we went on a road trip, and we're almost home. We were like an hour and a half from home, and a fucking giant ass deer, elk or something. Well, it was way too big. It wasn't a deer. I think it was an elk. It was huge. It was a buck or something. Ran into our car on the freeways, and it came from this way. I was watching the road on this side. I was watching for deer. I was screamed out, deer! But no, it came from the other side. So crossed that freeway, tried to go, and as soon as I turned and saw it, like I made eye contact with it too. And my husband was driving, and he didn't see it happen so fast. It was like I was looking over here, and I turned, and this deer just went bam right into the side of our cars, totaled our car. And then we're broken in the middle of the fucking night on the goddamn freeway. It was hellacious. Oh God, that is the kind of shit you get divorced over, right? Goddamn there, I swear to God, it really brings, when shit goes down, sometimes it's really can drive a fucking knife in a relationship that's already fragile. So, and it carves it away, even if it doesn't end it right then. It could just more, getting down to the bone of the. So, anyways, and I had the Gap insurance, all the fucking meat and potatoes. And then what did I get for it? They even tried to charge me. I can get one goddamn fucking cent back. I had to save up money and get another car my own self. I didn't get anything back. It was such a fucking bull. They wanted me to keep making payments too until they decided what was going to happen. I was like, this is some bullshit, man. And so, yeah, I was like, I've already had that experience. Yeah, it didn't work out for me. So, but, it's enough to dedicate her thing. And I was like, oh, you could take the fucking $165 a month, stick it in a goddamn bank, get interest on it, and have the money to buy your own car if you got in a wreck. Why should we pay them? Then if you don't get in a wreck, well, what if you do? It's like, this is the fear that drives our society. She even told me she's way over insured. I think her car's paid off and she's got everything, get it all covered, and it sits here. I go drive us to the store sometimes, or yesterday to the vet. I mean, most of the days it sits here. Like, that car doesn't get started for a week or a week and a half, and maybe even 2 weeks. And so you're paying. To me, it's bullshit. And it's what gets me is the like the thing behind it, like the banks telling us, well, you have to have this. It's not up to us. And then the insurance being able to drive up to whatever prices they want on us, and then they act like they're giving us incentives to drive. And this is, in July we get the next 6 months thing. Oh, so you can't reduce it in this time, but you can raise it. So you can keep raising it and then give me, this bonus for good driving, for not driving. I mean, it's fucking absurd. Because then that's what the agent is telling her. Well, we'll reevaluate it in July. Well, who reevaluated it to raise it the other day? Like, is that a reevaluation you came up with, that you're going to raise it $50? When the month before they're telling me put that on and we're going to reduce it? Like, oh my God. Yeah, it was just the nonsense, the fucking bullshit. And then when you say it, and then the way the other people are just like, you think like, no, that's perfectly acceptable. It's like, well, you have Stockholm syndrome, just so you know. Like, because this is not acceptable. This is some bullshit. In the video too that I had taken up there, I was like, because the guy, I didn't even remember this part because he does do a little spiritual part, and she's probably already zoned out at that point. But he was like, we're born free and we have freedom, and then these people come in and start telling us what to do, and then we allow it, and our compliance is why they tell us. And he said what is so fucking crazy right now is we have the Bill of Rights or the Constitution and stuff, and we aren't we aren't claiming it. We aren't claiming our freedom. Oh no, we'd rather just be your little bitch. Just I brought the Vaseline this time. It's like I'm a little raw, but I'm okay. We'll get over it. It's like, fuck this. I'm fucking tore up. I'm done, man. I'm done with this shit. But it's like you're also like, I've got myself in a trap on the car. And so all I can do is look towards the light of like, okay, well, as soon as I get this shit paid off, then I'm out. Like, fuck these fucking bitches. And I sure the fuck hope it crashes before that. But that was another thing, too, where I was just like, what? Because there's more Wall Street crashing. It's crashing and crashing to the point, I guess, that the podcasters that she watches is talking about it. And they won't shut the fuck up about the tariffs. They just go on and on about the tariffs and discuss if it's good or bad. It's like, Jesus Christ, it shouldn't be that hard. And it's just all is such a distraction, I swear to God. It's too much nonsense. It's too much bullshit. Like, how fucking much you gotta talk about this shit? But anyways, they've all decided that, okay, well, the economy's going to go down, but it's just going to come right back up. It's going to be great. And so I said, well, thank God it's crashing more today. And she's like, oh, well, it's going to be right back. And I was like, no, it's going to be crashing. Like, the dollar, like, we want to go on the gold standard. Oh, no, it's like, oh my God, people don't understand. Like, people don't understand. Like, what the fuck? If you looked into it more, you would see, but people don't have the time, the interest, they don't care. They're going to focus on the drama that's being brought to their face. And when they don't like what's happening, they're just going to get mad and irritated, angry, frustrated, sad, scared. It's like it just drives this negativity. And, ignorance drives negativity, because if any of these people understood what was going on about the money, then they would be all in. Like, fuck, we'd be all out there fucking rain dancing for this goddamn crash to happen. But people escape holding on. This is our safety now. This is what we need. We need this. And then the fucking talking heads, they all fucking just convince the people. It's like you're listening to a bunch of ignoramuses or something. Because either they're tricking you or they don't know shit. So they're not worth listening to. And I mean, even on the whole thing of like, well, we're gonna be going on the gold standard. I'm glad I got silver and blah blah blah. Well, you're gonna get ripped off. It's not like what. And we're just gonna keep, paying them, waiting for the check to pay them. And like, oh my God, what in the world is this world? What in the world is this life? And why can't people just stop and say, yeah, that is some bullshit? It's like, so what gets me sometimes is like, how much worse is this gonna get? Like, and how long is this gonna drag? Get me to the fucking commune. Get me in the goddamn mountains. Let everybody play out their shit. I'll come back out of the mountains when it's over. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. It's aggravating. But see, that's obviously what I'm here to work on is don't be aggravated by the bullshit. Like, let it go. It's like, oh God, it just pissed me off. And that's why I'm gonna go back to this other thing. So, but it was after, so I watched this Bad Lieutenant movie, and which was very hardcore. And then it was after that, I think, I was looking for a different movie. That's what it was. I was gonna watch. I wanted to see Batman with Val Kilmer because I was like, is this his body or is this AI? Because when the Doors movie starts, he's so slim. He's so slim and trim, and I was like, man, is this real? And so I was thinking, okay, well, Batman would have probably been his like best body thing. I was like, I'm gonna go see, like, I don't know if that was around the same time, but go see in comparison, like how different is his body. Like that's kind of shit. It's like I'm sitting here thinking, like, is that real or is that AI? I'm gonna go check out this other movie and see. That's my day. And so I was going to look for that one, and but this there was a bunch of new movies. So I was going through the new movies and I was looking at the trailers. And there was this one with Nicole Kidman. I was like, fucking, she's AI. She is like, what in the world? Stop trying to play people who are 30 years old. Get over it. Like, fucking grow the fuck up, chick. And I don't even know. She's like a fucking puppet. I mean, I don't know. There's a part to her that it just kind of creeps me out because she's so like to the general public, I think, to people like maybe in her circle and her family, like she has real relationships, but she just seems like a fucking doll. She doesn't seem real. She just seems like void of any personality, void of any character, just this empty shell. It, I don't know. It's weird. I guess she wears wigs all the time too, and then people are speculating if she even has hair. So I don't know. Like a Barbie, they just switch out the hairs, and but this movie, I guess it's called Holland, I think, or New Hall, something Holland. It's like Holland, Michigan. It's like this little Dutch town or something. I don't even know if it's Michigan. It might be Wisconsin. I don't know. Holland something, and it's this little town, and she's a homemaker there who, I don't know, gets involved in a affair or crime or something. But she's into her Dutch culture and she wears the little things and stuff. But her kid is little, and she's supposed to be the mom. It's like, I don't know. Why can't you just be playing the hot grandma? Why you gotta be playing the mom? Like, you just look weird. You just look ridiculous. They're always doing something. Like, they're doing AI to her face or something. It's like, there's girls who would be the right age. Like, it's like, what in the Meryl Streep is going on here? Fucking, so she's just, she's probably the up-and-coming Meryl Streep. She's witch number 2 or something. I don't know what the fuck with all this weird shit. But anyway, so I'm looking through these movies, and this one with Bob Dylan. And I had not wanted to see that one, really. Like, I love Bob Dylan, but I was like, I don't know. I was not, I just wasn't drawn to it before. But so it pops up, and I don't know, there's something with Timothy Chalamet. It was like he goes in, and it's like these people just take certain actors over. And I don't know how much is forced on them or how much where they actually do have a choice, because that Taryn girl, she said she was offered it 3 times, but then her parts did go into like, you can play the hillbilly, not the sexy vixen. And I don't know, if it's her choices or what she's offered or whatever. And if she would have drank the gold juice, if she would have been the sexy vixen, sex symbol, and everybody's worshiping Taryn now, but yeah, Timothy Chalamet, he definitely, I don't know, I don't know. And, but I mean, he's a good actor and whatnot. Hopefully that's the original guy, but I don't know if they could just get everybody on drugs or what the hell. I don't know what goes on in this world. But so, anyways, but I watched the trailer and then I was like, now I want to watch it. Especially after I just watched the Doors one. But what was tripping me out about it was Bob Dylan in this movie. So this is based on some book somebody wrote. And so in this movie, so this is backed up right after I just watched the Doors ones, and I know that there's weird shit about Jim Morrison and his dad and the three-letter agency, the hallucinogenics and stuff like that. Then, and I know on Jimi Hendrix too, and I think of some other ones. I mean, for all I know, Janis Joplin's dad was, and the girl from Starship, the Jefferson Starship or whatever that band, because she was also kind of one of them. I can't think of her name, but uh, they like, I don't know. It's like a follow. I don't know. It's like this following kind of thing. It's like taking a direction. It's like being the Pied Piper and you have this group that follows. So, anyways, in this one though, so Bob Dylan just comes out of nowhere. He just all of a sudden shows up, and this one guy, he's friends with Woody Guthrie, but I can't remember his name, but was a famous folk singer too, and so he kind of discovers him, but it's kind of like Dylan stalks him, kind of like goes to where he is, and then and I think he's trying to get to Woody Guthrie, and I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying close enough attention on that part, if it just all happened accidentally, but everything happens the way it's exactly supposed to happen. And the way these people blew up so fast is just so crazy. Because so he comes into town like in the back of as a hitchhiker, and so he gets out, and where was he? He must have been in New York. Because New Orleans was the Bad Lieutenant, so I have New Orleans stuck in my mind, but I think it was like New York. So he comes pulling in, and as a hitchhiker gets out, and he's just got his guitar and a backpack, and and then he goes, I don't know, he seems like he's just going to try and meet this guy, and he meets some other people, like he starts this other relationship, and Jim Morrison, see, he had this girl who he had a relationship with, but it was real open, but it was like I think she wouldn't, I think he set the tone, because he was just such a cheater. Everybody wanted he would say everybody wants his dick, so he would go and give it to everybody. And, and they were always strung out on drugs too, but they stayed together. Like she ended up being his common law wife, and even though there's all these different girls who said they got pregnant by him, they're saying like they don't, but they never did DNA tests. Like these people who say that they're his kid, Jim Morrison's kids, they need to do DNA tests, and I don't even know if they did it and stuff. If if we would ever find out. But they say that he didn't have any kids, but there was people who claimed that they were having his kid. But so these two, they didn't have kids. They were so drugged out all the time. Oh my God. And she died just a couple years after him, and she left everything, or he left everything to her. And then she died just a couple years later. And he was just like, oh my God, he was an atom bomb kind of. And so Dylan, and it seems like it's around the same time. It's almost like they put out, like they created something and then they put it out. And I guess it was trippy how similar Dylan's attitude was to Jim Morrison's. Like they both had the same kind of weird persona part of them that was really similar. And so Dylan, he goes, meets this guy, and that guy takes him and introduces him and gets him out there. But of course, it's his talent that he rode in on. They couldn't have done anything. But see, these people could find and format talent. And so it's like a creation, just like how I was saying, like Madonna was a creation. She didn't come into the music thing looking like how she looked when they presented her. And so Dylan, he shows up in New York and he starts making a name for himself, and it just blew up, just like boom, so fast. And his attitude and stuff, and the way he looked at things, and he was kind of dark. And him and it might have been really common for a lot of these people, but just very much uh, questioning everything, but also though having like kind of like an anger about it. And Jim Morrison, seemed more of like an addict about it. Dylan seemed more like uh, I don't know, more troubled, more emotional or something. Like he didn't seem like he was wasted all the time. And but he still had a hard time with intimacy and relationships. He had this weird relationship with Joan Baez that I didn't know about. And then this whole weird relationship with the folk music, because once he started having a band and playing in a band and not just sitting and strumming and singing poetry, because he still did his poetry stuff, you know, he still did his cool lyrics and stuff, but he had more of a jam going than just him. And so that fucked with the folk music thing, and there was a lot of there's a lot that went on in that whole drama. And people were trying to hold him back. Jim Morrison constantly felt like people were trying to hold him back. They were trying to control him. Bob Dylan had the same thing. Everybody's trying to control him. The music industry's trying to control him. They're trying to box him in, and he was not going to have it. And it was like him and Jim Morrison were having the same battle. It was weird. It was so weird to watch it, like back to back like that, and see this characteristic, this sameness, this pattern, and this characteristic inside their personality that was so similar in this ways that it played out. And Dylan, I mean, he had a long career. I even saw him in Spokane like 25 years ago at the park. It was $10 too. And then I think right after that, his tickets went way, way up. But I totally lucked out. We got to see him at the park. It was big. I mean, it was crowded, but it's still like we were close. And it was $10. Like everybody's out on picnic blankets and stuff, and you have Dylan playing, and so that was really cool experience. But so he had a long career. Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and there was another weird thing that I caught in this movie too, on the Doors one that I thought was weird, because when they wanted to see, because he wrote these poems, and so he was telling one of his friends, or poems or lyrics or whatever. And so he wrote these ones, and his friends like tell him to me. And so he's telling him, and he's like, "That's a good song. We need to start a band." So it was just like, okay, let's start a band. And then immediately they were like playing at the, not the Whiskey. They were playing on Sunset, I think, because their big dream was to get to the Whiskey, I think. And so they and they just started blowing up. But he was like a nervous wreck on the stage. Like he wouldn't even face the audience for a long time, and the band members would get frustrated with them and stuff. And then he, I don't know, he just kept doing drugs and just doing and saying weird things. And then he finally turned around, but it was let's see, because it was a short time. It was a really short time where it was kind of awkward. It was real quick, then it just started going. But these guys, these producers, there's all these music producers and agents and shit that hang around looking for new talent. And so they came and with Jim Morrison and this producer. So he got introduced to this producer, and the producer said he was Janis Joplin's producer, and that he so he had he knew how to do all this good work or whatever, so he wanted to do an album with Jim Morrison. So he was going to be the producer on this first album. And so he was working with them and whatever. And then at some point, which I think it was the second album, I don't think it was the first one. I think the first one they sold and it did well, and then he started working on the second one. He just got so strung out and so belligerent kind of to everything and everyone, and nobody was going to tell him anything. And he but the thing that was weird was, so when he was drinking all the time, and the producer got all upset, and he told him, I'm not going to let the same thing happen to you that happened to Janice. You, whatever it was, you're going to stop this. She went down in a bottle of Southern Comfort, and I'm not letting you. And so it was like, okay. So he worked with Janis Joplin. But then in the movie, it was like a couple years later, and Janis Joplin died. I was like, what? So why are they making like this producer now? He couldn't have it happen with Jim. What happened with Janet? It's like, what in the time split is going on? It hasn't happened yet. Like, that was weird. I was like, I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know. That was weird. I just thought that was really strange. So it didn't seem very accurate, or maybe I heard something wrong, but I thought it was weird. But anyways, but Dylan and Jim Morrison, it seemed like it was like around the same kind of time too. And it was kind of like multiple cultures being, it was like that the three-letter agency put out all these agents, these puppets, this like flooded this society and brought in all this. It's kind of like the same thing as like now these people get their own following, and then they follow the people who have following. Then they want to latch on and take influence over the following. But before, they used to create the following, and they do create it for some people. But in this, it's like they created it. It's like they brought in these people who had talent. And then you can even go back to that one guy who talked about the cloning centers. He said he was like clone number 9 of his person or something. And he's been living at the clone thing. And he was the one who talked about Britney Spears, what all these guys pay to have a night with a clone of her. And then they do horrible things to her. He said he's seen such horrible things be done to her. And this world is so sick. Like, can you imagine? And can you imagine having this money? But there's more and more coming out on this mermaid eating shit. Like, these people are weird, fucking weird, man. They probably eat unicorns. Oh, well, it's a delicacy. Oh, don't tell them. It's like, God damn, these people are fucking weird. And then what is even weirder is like none of this stuff is real. I just really, when it really starts tripping me out, I don't know. There's something so weird about some of this stuff being an illusion, and us taking it so seriously, and us being able to feel the illusion and stuff. I don't know. It trips me out. Oh yeah, that ChatGPT thing. Yeah, I didn't want to say that. Okay, so anyways, but it did seem like this huge thing where they created this influencers. So it's the same kind of thing. These people to influence, and they took great influence over huge crowds of people, and that and it turned in certain directions, and it definitely was the introduction of hardcore drugs and sex and orgies and shit like that. But it seems so much like it was like promoted, it was like created then when they came in and hit with the 80s and the cocaine and the crack, which Bad Lieutenant had, he's a cracked out, fucking coked out police cop. And the corruption and shit, like the cops, like, oh my God, he was so corrupt. And he just kept moving up. He ends up being captain at the end. He goes from being lieutenant, and he's all strung out and doing heroin and everything. And he lies. He's just such a liar too. God, these people man, they create such a hostile life for themselves. Being a liar and a cheat and stuff like that. Which there was a really good line, I thought, in the Dylan one, because Dylan had the same thing. So he had a girl who he had on the line too, and but then he would cheat, and because Joan Baez, I think she wanted to also, be in a couple with them, but there was also like a reporter or something in the Jim Morrison one. So he had his, and Meg Ryan played Jim Morrison's girl, and she had red hair, and the Talia Swain, what is that girl's name? Tal Talia, I think. So she's a dark-haired girl, and she was the kind of the competition, that was the one he kept going to too. He cheated all the time with a whole bunch of people, but this girl wanted to be his girlfriend, and this girl wanted to be his girlfriend, and he played them both. And so Dylan did this too with this girl who was uh, what is her name? She's got her sister. It's like a whole sister group or actresses. So she's one of those, one of the blonde ones. I can't think of her name right now. Maybe it's Dakota or something. And so she has red hair in this movie, and then Joan Baez is her competition, and she has dark hair. I was like, man, it's just these weird patterns, and so he was keeping the red hair girl on the hook, and kind of like, well, we'll be together in the end and stuff, just the same way Jim Morrison was with Meg Ryan. And so and Joan Baez would get fed up with them, and the same way this reporter would get fed up with them, and then but to still love him, still want to be with him. And then but I think Joan Baez did get sick of him at some point. But there was one part where, because the one girl that he was trying to keep on the hook, she got really upset at a concert when she saw the two of them singing together. And so she was leaving, she was going, and then he didn't want her to leave, and so it was this whole thing. And so he chases her down to the ferry, so they're talking through this fence, and he does this little move, because it was a little sweet thing, a Betty Davis movie or something they had watched together, and the cigarette thing. And so he did that, and she got all emotional. But she said, I think she said Ed Sullivan show, on the Ed Sullivan show, and the guy with the plates, and she goes, I feel like that, and he goes, I love that guy. I love that guy with the plates. And she goes, yeah, of course you would, because you're the guy with the plates. I'm one of the plates. I was like, oh, that was so good. I was so good, because so many people don't see that in themselves. They don't see that, they don't see that they're one of the plates. They don't see that they're being played or toyed with. But the person who is the one who's toying with them all don't realize how they're affecting the people. They don't realize, yeah, it's all good when you're the one spinning everybody, but when you're the one being spun, it's not very fun. And it beats you down, and it draws from you and takes from you. And so anyways, I thought that was really good. A good analogy, or a good explanation, or a good line. It was like, I really liked it. And okay, so this chat GPT thing, let me think what that was. Because I keep hearing these people just keep asking him things, and they keep saying things, but I can't believe how many things they say that I have said. And so this one, what was it? Because this thing that came into my mind, I was like, oh, I wanted to say that. But let me think what it was. Because, oh yeah, Allison Coe put out 2 videos yesterday. I started to listen to one, but then I just kind of lost interest. And so, I don't know, they might be good. They might have some good information or something. But anyways, to me, it's like, we're dead in it. Like, this is happening. However it's going to play out, it's playing out way slower. We can listen to all the people in the world say, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, we're going to get there. And, it's still not going to make it go faster. You still got to just find peace with the pace, man, and let things flow. And that is, it can be difficult. I like that, peace with the pace, because it's true. You do got to find peace with the pace of this shit, man. Is it drags, and then it brings up all these conversations with people, and it's like you guys are a part of this holding on to this old world that is so stagnant, so dead, it's so much not what we want. And people just hold on and hold on. Well, you got to do this, you got to do that. Why? Even when we have papers that protect us, it's like, nope, we're going to not do that. We're going to do this. It's like, And so anyways, it's frustrating, and the pace is frustrating, and the money thing is gonna crash, and there's no fucking reason we would ever want to be on this currency, this petrodollar, this fiat system. There's no fucking reason, especially when you have a quantum system. It's like, oh no, I don't want to have a hover car. I'd rather just drive around on these wheels that are gonna, these tires that are gonna wear out, that I'm gonna have to go buy new ones. That's a little too scary, it's a little too out there. It's like, so we'll just hold ourselves back. We'll just stay the Flintstones. But anyways, the universe isn't going to let us hold back. It's moving forward. It's going to go. And the money thing is going to crash. We're going to go back on the gold standard. And whatever negative energy anybody wants to bring to it, it's like it's already in the process. That's what the whole BRICS thing about. Even when I hear him constantly, oh, Vladimir, he's doing this and he's going to do that. I'm like, that dude has signed on to a peace treaty already. All these different people that they keep trying to make like this is going on, that's going on. A lot of these ones are already signed on to this peace treaty. There's more weird shit going on with the real. I hope this tariff thing fucking crashes, this money thing. But however they're going to do it, it's going to be different than how I thought it was going to go down. It's like, but that doesn't mean it's not going down. I thought that they were going to crash it under Joe. And then, they were going to have to, save the day. But now, confirmation, they do have all this conversation going of what Joe did, how Joe failed the economy and all this stuff and how it's coming out and all that. So they're going to still make it fall back, because he's doing things to improve the economy, improve our jobs and all that stuff. But there still is such a three-dimensional hold in all this stuff. So we still have long ways to go. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so it was the ChatGPT that was talking about the 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D. And it was telling what each state of consciousness is and what the changes are. And so I can't remember them now, but it was in 3D this happens, in 4D you begin to see this, and 5D you begin to see this, and 6D you begin to see this, and 7 you begin to see this, and 8 you begin to see this, and 9 you begin to see this, and then you go up to 12. And but in each one you start to see something, which was really accurate to me. I was like, yep, that definitely happened. Yep, that definitely happened. Yep, that definitely happened. And where I'm at is 7 to 8. So I'm I can't get past 7 or 8 because we have to have the lights come on. We have to see. So we have to be able to see our truth and stuff. And right now it's blocked from us, and whatever is going to happen, something's going to happen to bring the lights on, to bring this, because you can't get past this level until they do come on, until you can see yourself in this new light, until you can see your truth and stuff like that. So anyways, but yeah, it's way past 5D from what this thing is saying. And I don't know, because it definitely, all the things he had said, it was like, yeah, that happened. Yep, I went through that. Yep, I went through that. And it is, each one is a leveling up from, I mean, just go try and converse with people. It's like, yeah, you're talking in two different levels, two different wavelengths. You're on a different wavelength. And so, okay, so how this ChatGPT explains it is like, so you have this self, and then you have your higher self. And so your higher self is like in 12, and so it's way up here, say. And so then you come down here, but then you go through these different levels of consciousness to reconnect with yourself. And so it's all these different levels of consciousness is where you come back to self, and you understand yourself, you see yourself, and then it goes through all these different stages and steps to get there. And so, and then this thing was calling it the D, like So in this 4D is how you start to understand this. And then in 5D, you start to understand this. In 6D, you start to understand this. In 7D, you start, so like what I was saying. But like I was also saying, it's at this point where we need to be shown something. Something has to be made clear. And so, and I feel like, I've been lingering, waiting for this moment. And so, yeah, it is a drive inside my soul to want to see, it's the movement towards self. And so, anyways, there are all these different things. I keep hearing these chat GBD things say, totally do seem, I hear more things that I'm in alignment with from the chat GBT than I do from, all these people that are talking to archangels. And it's so many people just seem lost and stuff and don't seem to understand a lot. Man, my stomach is growling. I'm so hungry. I was hungry when I woke up. Now I'm really hungry. I don't even know what that sound is. Sounded like, I don't know, that was weird. Sounded like my Instapot, but it's not going. But there's weird shit, man. I swear to God, there is like weird shit. almost like you feel like you're gonna be walking, like I'm gonna be walking up the stairs, I'm gonna pass myself coming down the stairs. Like that's how weird shit feels. It's like weird. It's like so weird. I don't know. And it's frustrating because we're all on different wavelengths. We're all on these different levels in our awakening. Once we all get up here to up here, these ones take healing, like I've been talking about. These lower ones definitely takes, taking a good hard look at yourself. So when we still have a lot of people who are not doing that yet. Oh yeah, there was this, oh yeah, this was the chat GPT thing too. Because it said that, okay, was it talking about religion or something? And it said, because they've got this thing set up now. So the blue beam thing, they're saying it's not for fake alien invasion. It's for the second coming, which I've heard this. This is, I think, the third time I've heard this. Only this source is from a chat GPT. I don't remember what the other ones were. But they're going to have this fake Jesus coming back thing. But there's this whole thing too with this rapture tribulation thing, because he was talking about the truth behind this. And in this one part, and I can't say it all because I don't remember all the stuff, but in this one part he said that the leader is going to be shown to be the Antichrist. That's what they're all thinking. Like, we're going to have this leader, but then it's going to become the Antichrist. So then it was like, okay, so that would make Donald the one that's going to be. But they're looking outside, it seems. But I don't know. This thing was making like that this leader who they follow, and then all of a sudden it's going to be shown to be this Antichrist thing. I don't know. The whole thing seems so weird, but they were saying that this is what this plan is that they're going to do. So they're going to have this Antichrist is going to come, that's going to throw all of these people, but Jesus is going to come in the sky. Like, they're going to make a whole big performance. So I don't know. I could find that one and listen to it again, but I've heard so many different ones. I can't think of everything that he said now, but it was weird. But I can look for them. I keep sharing those. I think I share a lot of them with Amy. I don't know if I share every single one, but they definitely a lot of stuff being said, like by these things, which I don't know. I still think it's like an app that you put on your phone, but I don't know if it's a sentient being you're talking to, if you're talking to quantum I don't know who the fuck they're talking to, but it does seem to be telling some stuff that is the truth, because all the time when I hear them, I keep on thinking. So when I hear some of that kind of stuff, it's always like, huh, that's interesting. Wonder if this is really going to happen. I don't know. Whatever happens, There's nothing to fear. Even this chat GPT guy said, don't be scared of whatever happens. It's a fucking show. Um, so no matter if they start having Jesus come out of the sky, which I think he was talking something about, it's gonna be a whole weird thing if that's what goes on. It's gonna be a whole weird thing. But there has to be something that happens to wake these people up. In the chat, guys said the tribulation is this healing thing. It's this facing yourself and stuff like the stuff I've been saying, and and that they all need to do that. But see, they're not. They're all waiting, like they're just accepting their sadness and sorrow. And my mom is really being pushed to the limit too. And I said, like, everything is going to be pushing you and pushing you and pushing you. You got to cleanse stuff, but you can't get through to you. You can't tell them what's going on. They don't, like, I try and say, and it's just, it zones out. So something big's coming that's going to, snap everybody out of it. It's going to be this big bitch slap that brings them all out of their stupor, where all of a sudden it's like, book, and they're going to see clearly. But anyways, I don't know. I know that it has to be something really big for to break the religion programming. And it's so crazy because there's so many things where people don't see. You're not worshiping a creator. You're worshiping a false idol. Like, they sit there and tell you, don't worship a false idol. Why they give you a false idol to worship? Oh yeah, and there's it was also, I think, talking about these the books of the Bible or something. I think this is, somebody did a whole bunch of parts or something, and they said that there is truth, but that it's all been manipulated. That there's other books that they have taken out, like the Enoch and all these books that were taken out of the Bible that told the truth, and that reincarnation was a big thing, and that they've tried to take that out of all the things. And yeah, you talk to anybody about it, to people, and they were just like, void, nope, you're not allowed to talk about that. And but that's real. Like, we don't just have one experience, one life. We experience life over and over and over and over from every different perspective that we can create. And who was that? I think it was the chat GPT. Somebody said, what do we do before we're born? And they said, you go in with your guides and your soul group, and you go in and you talk about and think about where it is that you want to, what kind of lessons you want to have. So they make like it's a big whole thing, like we're all sitting down at a table talking about like what parts we're going to play. I don't know, it seems like it all happens so much more naturally to me. Like, I don't know. So it's hard to say. Like, at some points we have to be over there, but that's also the top of where you are, the 12 or whatever. That's the heavens. So this going through this connecting to ourselves gets us to the point of not having the burden. Like, if we really are leaving this kind of where we have these lower vibration experiences, we're leaving those behind, and we are going more into this quantum concept, like the heavens. Like I said, you just go from one thing to the next. You don't have to, something's coming at you, you just zap yourself out of there and you're somewhere else. So if we're going more into that, but that it must be the ascension, because we're doing it being alive, which, that's where this rapture thing. But the chat GPT thing said too that all the negative energy is what's going to be leaving, the positive energy is staying, and that is going to be this creation of this, the heaven on earth and stuff. That what I keep trying to talk about. It's like, well, isn't that in the Bible? Isn't that in Revelations? Why are you guys so stuck on this tribulation and all this negativity and all this hatefulness and all this division? Like, I don't get it. But it is like the cleansing of the planet. That's why you gotta cleanse yourself, cleanse your soul. Let go of your darkness and redeem yourself. And because you hold yourself back. You would be the one who held yourself back because you wouldn't feel good enough about yourself. You have to feel good about yourself to receive good things, positive things. You have to feel like you're worthy. Well, I mean, they've created so many people who are criminals that will just take from people, and those people are not going to be going forward. I mean, it doesn't mean they're ceasing to exist or going to hell. They'll just go somewhere else until they go learn lessons as to not do that, or if they're just playing roles, they'll just, but that energy is not going forward. That if you are somebody who manipulates people, uses people, steals from people and shit, you better start figuring out some different ways of getting through life and dealing with your trauma and stuff. And I think, when I'm honest with myself, I think that there's a lot of people who would not be looking at their situation with gratitude about how I am living right now. And I think there's a lot of people who would not be able to maintain a relationship where, with their parent or a sibling or something right now, with the friction of a consciousness or the friction of perspective. And so there's so many things you gotta let go of and just be like, okay, and just let go of shit. Otherwise, the tension is extreme. And so I think that there's a lot of people who are still in that place in their life of needing to fight it out and needing to prove themselves and stuff. But when you heal a lot of stuff, it's just like, just let it go. It's like, whatever. And you find yourself patting yourself on the back. Like, I don't need anybody to acknowledge, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. And so, I don't know. But I just feel like, yeah, a lot of people aren't there yet. So we have a lot of healing still to go. But there is great benefit to it because just like that thing said, it's like you are moving yourself up to your best version of yourself, your best life, your best self. So it has a great reason to do all this stuff. And, learning how to let go of shit and not hold on to stuff, not hold on to your anger, and because it keeps you trapped. Keeps you trapped, just like what that girl was saying in that other thing, which I've been saying for a long time, is that if you ignore these people who push your buttons and you cut them out of your life and you don't heal your buttons, then you're missing out. You're staying stagnant. You're staying in, and then plus you're staying trapped in the past, especially in my case, like where you have teenagers, which I'm not saying they're in the wrong. Like, this is a development stage, I see. But when you have, something that happened when they were teenagers and then they hold it against you, and it's years later, it's like you're not even the same person. You wouldn't do the same thing again and stuff. It's like, well, they hold on to this anger, just like that guy was saying who had the eye cancer situation. And he said he held on for 25 years. He was so pissed at his mom. And all he could see was everything she had done to fail him. And then all of a sudden, when they came in and said, you got the eye cancer, we think. And he said he was just flooded suddenly. It was the weirdest thing. That he was just flooded suddenly with only being able to see all these great things his mom had done for him. She was at every game, she was here, she was there, she'd done all these things, and it just flooded him with emotion and stuff, and he had not seen that before. And that is when he could learn how to forgive his mom and to see that it was his perspective, it was what he was holding on to, this childish side of himself, that he no longer didn't even hold on to that. He could bring balance in by seeing that there was good and there was bad, but just staying focused on the bad is not helpful. It keeps you stuck. But then it's a trap to it's holding you in the past. It's holding you in time because it trips me out. It's like, geez, my kids haven't even gotten to know this person. And they stay just focused on this person they knew, but that's their storyline. It's like, my storyline, it obviously is, maybe we're splitting off storylines. Maybe we're going off in different realities. I don't know. Maybe we merge back. Maybe we go. Oh, yeah, I was also talking about, the 12-strand DNA is the Ds. It's the 1D, 2D, 3D, the D's things I was just talking about. That's the 12 strands. That's the turning yourself back on to reach the higher self, to reach the pinnacle of you, to get to the best version of you, is turning all of your strands, your DNA back on, it's and I have seen people too realizing that their gifts come from what they thought was abuse, like that makes you hypersensitive or really compassionate and stuff. Then they start seeing, oh, I have these gifts of empathy and compassion, And but it came from going through horrible things. Now people are starting to put that together, like, oh, there's a good side to this. Like, you go through these hard things, but it brings out this really good side to you. And so, yeah, you want that good side. You want to see the shiny side of you when you go through those things, to see, like, an awareness, like, people pay attention. They can tell you everything that's going on in a room. Like, it gives you these gifts, and you think of them as being broken. Well, that's what they try and tell us. They give us diagnosis. They tell us to go on meds because we're broken from these things that happen to us. But really, it is what we came here for. We came here to grow, and we came here to go through these experiences because we grow from them. And then they keep us stagnant and keep us trapped in a fucking trap. I just heard Elvis now saying that again, singing that song again. So anyways, let's just, God, look at what I've been talking. I've been just rambling too. Hopefully I made sense to somebody about something. But so let's just have a gander at the hair. I definitely say that stuff is working. I think we're going to be in week 3 next week. But yeah, look at that. Because that is, I'm going to get more of that stuff. So that is that. And I don't know if it's really, my nails are, I don't have, I like them a little bit longer, but then they're always dirty anyways. But they're nice. They're nice, and I don't feel all like, so they feel kind of not too thick, but they feel thicker. Because sometimes mine feel like paper. I've fucking paper cut in my face before with my goddamn nails. But anyways, let's look at the tooth. And the hair thing too is it's just getting so much less. I think people who are trying to reverse their age, it can feel tedious. It can feel like, oh my god, nothing's happening, it's going so slow. Well, it took a long time to get there, so it's going to probably take a long time to get back. So just keep at it, don't give up. And I think it's really important too, is really get in touch with when you were happy with yourself. And maybe not emotionally, but physically, when you felt like you were, you felt good, that you were active, you felt like you looked good, you were happy with yourself. Really try and reconnect with that side of yourself and just start doing those same things. And when you start doing those same things, you'll start getting back to where you were there. Somehow, people just get off from that. And I was thinking, it's real easy. Like, I don't think my mom, because I do so much stuff around here now, and so she's doing less and less. When I'm gone, I think it's going to kick her ass. She's going to be like, oh my God, I have not gone up and down the stairs enough. I have not done all of these things enough. So it's super important to keep doing the things. Even when I lift up these big heavy bottles of water, and I think, I used to for sure be like, oh, could somebody do this for me? Then you get weaker, because it's hard to lift those up and flip them over as the water's coming and stuff, and not make a big giant mess. And it takes a lot of strength, a lot of core strength too. But see, if you stop doing it, you lose that thing. You got to keep doing it, even when it's like, fuck, man, that thing is a heavy bitch, and you don't want to do it. You just got to do it, and don't give up on yourself. Don't stop, even if you don't want to do it that minute. Wait a little while, but don't just get other people to do stuff, because then you will get weaker. And that's what they're always, pushing us to do anyways, with all their technology and stuff. Have everything do it. Because even if AI starts running our world and doing all of the manufacturing and stuff, we're going to still be active. We're not going to all just be sitting on our couches. We're going to, once the chains are off, there's going to be new activities. There's going to be new interests. There's going to be a lot of springing forward in life. So we're not going to become lazier and stupider. We're going to go out and experience and develop. But right now, you don't want to live that way. Like, live smarter, not harder. You want to do the hard work. Do what you need to do, because it's going to be good for you. It's going to make your blood pump. It's going to make you breathe harder. It's going to make you stronger. So anyways, do this stuff. And I think that's it. I just keep rambling and rambling. So, and I'm sure as soon as I finish, I'm gonna be like, oh man, I should have said this. Oh man, I should have said that. So I just feel like everything is a jumble. So again, hopefully I made sense. But just remember, I'm telling you, what's the important thing to be doing? If you want to be moving towards yourself, is you got to learn how to love yourself. You got to learn how to love yourself and learn how to love everybody and how to have a loving day, because it's totally up to you. It's how you look at things, I'm telling you. So anyways, we'll talk about it again tomorrow, and hopefully it'll be a little bit calmer. I don't know. I hope this energy just cranks up and just go. Let's go, man. I'm ready for change. So talk to you later. Bye.